What's going on, people? Today in this video, I just want to get off my chest and talk about all the annoyances and otherwise broken features in Naruto Generations. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this game, alright? When I play with the right people, when I play with my friends, I have a blast. But when you play online with randoms, it is just lawless and it's just ridiculous, the stuff that people do. Now, I wanted to make this video for the longest while, pretty much since this game came out and I found about all the annoyances in it. But my Xbox has been dead since summer, and I only recently got a new one at the end of January, and I've been busy otherwise. So this is pretty late, but I think it should be said because some of these things are just downright broken, and I don't want this game, like the series, to fall down this path. Because Storm 3 is coming out in, I don't know, like a week or two, and I'm skeptical about getting that. I mean, I tried the demo, I'll talk about that later, I made a video about that, but I want this game to do well, and there are a lot of things in Generations that just make it unbearable at times, and if those things make their way to Storm 3, I don't know, man, it's just, I think it's gonna be a mess. You know, some people will disagree with me, that's fine, you can disagree with me on some things, but others, there are things in this game that you have to see for yourself, and there's just no debating how broken they are. It's just ridiculous, man. I don't know. Now, to start off, let me show you something. Some characters have this item, I think it was called the Frenzy Pill. Basically what it does is you use it and you do not flinch. I mean, you take damage, but you don't flinch. And the possibilities with that are so unbelievably stupid, it's comical that they left this game. Just check this out. I mean, look at that, he doesn't even flinch from that. Ultimates don't affect you either. And then look at this, you can, like, I don't know what they think you putting that in this game. You can effectively charge up your truck, or you can do anything, throw ultimates at someone, and they can't do anything to you because you don't flinch. You just stay there and take it. Look at this, man. Like, there's no downside to that. As I'm attacking you, you can throw an ultimate at me. That is broken. There is no downside to that. You don't lose any health. Nothing happens. You just become pretty much invincible. It's broken. Honestly, I think the worst part about this is that how it can be used. Most people won't just charge into battle using this. They will use it like that. When they know they're dying, they will use it and charge up into awakening. So there is nothing that will stop them from gaining ridiculous power, as you can just see right there. I try to attack them. Normally when someone goes into awakening mode, I put the pressure on them before they can transform. But in this case I can't, because if I hit them, okay, they'll take the damage, but they won't move. Like, it won't interrupt while they're charging up. Is that, like, why would they even put that in there? To give it to Naruto of all people? I mean, man, he is one of the most annoying characters to deal with because of all of his spammy garbage in this game. And he has two of them. So maybe you can use one mid-fight, and then you save the last one for when they're really dying. And then you can save it for when, you know, you're ready to pop awakening, because you know your opponent can't stop you. I mean, like, do you know how many times I've faced someone online and I am, like, clearly outplaying them, and then they rush awakening mode with that? I pretty much have to sit back and watch it. If I try to attack them, they lose the damage, but I effectively get right in their face within range, and I just get blasted because you know, they transform. What am I supposed to do with it? I can't do nothing. So that's gotta go. That better not be in the Storm 3. Another thing that's weird is some characters, when you sub, you will teleport behind them, as it should be, because generally when you sub, you want to be in any place that you weren't originally in. But some characters, when you sub their moves, you don't sub behind them. You sub right on top of where you originally were, like this. Naruto's ultimate. It took 2 to sub away from that just to stay alive. Now look what happens if I only sub it once. Like, if you don't defend against that, and you try to sub, if you don't have at least 2 subs, you're gonna eat it. Or even if you do have 2, and maybe your finger slips or whatever, you're still gonna take the hit. I mean, why would it make you sub on top of where you originally were? For an ultimate of all things? That is really annoying. And he is not the only character who can do that. And I'll show you that in a minute. But I don't understand if that was like a design overstep or was that intentional, but it is really annoying to contend with having to do that. Man, I don't know. Look, as I said, he's not the only one who does that. Kiva does the same thing. It's hard to see, but I sub twice, you can see my bars go away. If anything happens if I only sub once. I land right on top of where I literally was, then I just take the hit. Like, why? Why is that there? That is so annoying to deal with. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten hit by that. Not because I got outplayed, but because of an annoying mechanic. Why doesn't it teleport you behind them like everybody else? It's just whack, man. I don't know. That needs to go. That better not be in the new game, you know? You know, since we're on the subject of annoying mechanics, check this one out. This one allows you to use a jutsu while you are defending and just pretty much with your back to the wall. It was so fast, let me show you that in slow-mo. Like, you saw that, man. He was putting the pressure on him and he's still able to do that. Look at this, it happens again here too. I mean, there were no frames in that. Invincibility frames, so I have no chance of doing damage there. How it should be is like that. See, he tried to use a special while I am attacking him, and it makes him flinch and it cancels it out. Why do some characters bypass that and are still able to do that? That just creates totaling, and I've seen this a lot. People know how to use it, they take advantage of it, they will use it, and they will constantly spam that. And since I can't hit them while they're doing it, it's just an effective win. It's just very annoying. I don't see why that was in there. I'm guessing that was a bug, because there's no way anyone with any sense would keep that in a game. There's just no way, man. Yo, the masked man. Man, I could probably make a whole video just centered around how broken this character is. Now, with other things in my video you might debate, there might be objections, fine. But there's no debating how unbelievably broken the masked man is. Like, look at this. He's got invincibility frames during ultimates. So, directly after I use the ultimate, or he uses one, he takes no damage at all. Check it out again. If I try to do an ultimate on him, it just cancels it out. That's stupid. Because when he does it to other people, look, check this out. No invincibility frames here, he rushes right through you and he hits you. He cannot be targeted during ultimates, but other people can. Nice, right? You'd be surprised how many people do that online. Actually wouldn't, because it's so broken, it happens all the time. So many invincibility frames for this guy, I don't understand it. And another invisibility frame here is in his jutsu. Even when I charge at him, it still goes right through. Look. Right there. I clearly hit him first and it still rushes right through. Bad enough that this move is ridiculously spammy, and when you sub it, you usually land right on top of it to take another hit. Why would they make it so that he cannot be attacked during that? Everybody else, like I've said, well, for the most part at least, when you attack someone in the jutsu, they will take the hit and they will flinch and it cancels them out. Why is it that for him, of all people, sorry, but man, anyone who uses masked man online needs to just kick rocks, because I have never fought a masked man who plays legit. They're all just spammy, ridiculous. Get out of here with that. Alright, that's all there is to it. Another thing I want to talk about is awakening. Man, I hate this mode. I hate it, because you get so much power. At what cost? Oh, okay, you gotta have your life low, and then you can trigger, but where is the downside? Why aren't you taking more damage? Why do you get so much power with no backdraw? Where, like, look at this. Look at my HP compared to his in this video. I'm clearly kicking him out. And then he pops this, and then it just becomes ridiculously overpowered. And you're just spamming, well, it's not a jutsu, but it's just a regular combo. And in like a few seconds, I'm nearly down to his health. because he grants up so much power with there's no cost to it. Like, I don't like how people use this so like freely. I wish there was a big downside, like, after you use it, you die immediately, or you lose like half your health right there. Maybe then, if there was some kind of consequence to using this mode, people wouldn't be using it so haphazardly like it is now. And I never use this mode online, never, because I think it's just a clutch, man. Because basically you get all this power, ridiculously overpowered. You can no longer be hit by ultimates, grabs, all of that. Okay, so you can't use an ultimate yourself. Who cares, man? When you combo, you do just as much damage, if not more, than someone's ultimate. Like, there needs to be a big downside to that. I want to see people losing half their health or something ridiculous so it's not spammed so much online. Now let me show you another reason why I don't like Awakening mode. No matter what, Awakening mode is overpowered. Now let me fix this when I say this. There are some characters who clearly have stronger awakenings, but as a whole, the mechanic is overpowered. In the sense that you move quicker in awakening mode. If you dash at somebody, you will always knock them down first. So, like, effectively, you are a bulldozer, and I'll show you right here. Like, when we charge at the same time, I will always get knocked back if I'm, running into someone with awakening, even if I charge them first. Like, look at this. No matter what, I will get hit by that. And it's really annoying. Sometimes I did it first there, and I get knocked back there still too. It's just, I hate this mode. Like, anytime I see someone use this mode online, it drives me nuts, because, like, if it takes awakening just to take me down, something's wrong there. Why can't you just fight me just normally? Why do you have to use awakening mode and become so ridiculously overpowered? Fight me on the same terms that I'm using, because I promise you, I never use this mode online. I never do, because I find it cheap. I just think it's too powerful, and there's no drawback to using it. Like, you're always faster than an opponent. You will always beat them at dashes. I wasn't able to show it off in this video, but if you are on the defensive and someone who's an awakening, if you sub them and you want to try to get that, try to dash behind them and get them by surprise, you won't, because no matter what, awakening always moves faster. So if your opponent is not completely brain dead and they chakra dash you right when you sub, they will knock you back and you won't be able to withstand that. And I've seen this happen a lot online, and it annoys me to no end. Like, I just wish that I wish it was more balanced. The damage it does, and the fact that there's no consequences, that annoys me. Speaking of annoying, this guy, honestly, is right up there with Masked Man kind of spam. Now, if you sub one of his moves, and he uses his jutsu on you, and you know what? Just wait. I'll show you what happens. It's just really annoying. You see right there, I sub it, and I still take the hits because he throws like 4 or 5 boulders at you, and they have like pretty decent tracking. So when you sub them, you still get hit. And right there, even though I tried to put the pressure on him and charge right at him, but as long as the mode is already initiated, it doesn't cancel out. So if you were even a second too late and those boulders come up, you're still gonna take the hit. It's silly. I hate it. People spam it all the time. Right when they sub, they will use that, and you can't do anything but sub and take the hit, or just take the hit altogether for full damage. And look at this. Sometimes I try to back away from it when he does it, and like, why? Now trust me, if you've played anyone who uses this guy online, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't effectively get away from those boulders. You are gonna take a sub or two, and sometimes they still hit you. Why is that even allowed? Another bad thing I hate is 1010. Now, obviously her normal spams are bad, because, it's long range annoyingness, but she also is a character who has a ridiculous track of her jutsu. As you saw right there, it took like 2 subs or so, and I still took a little chip damage from it. And even when I try to, sidestep out of the way, look at this, man. I sidestep and I take the full damage from that. The tracking on that is ridiculous. You hop away, unless you're sub, you're gonna eat that. It's stupid. Like, why? I just don't understand why their tracking is so damn good. I just really hope that gets dealt with in the upcoming game, you know? And I don't encounter this a lot. I used to when I first played this game, but I don't see many puppet users now. But his tilt is so ridiculous, it's laughable. Dude, just look at this. It will constantly juggle you if you don't sub. Even if you do, sometimes you sub, like I said, right on top of where you originally were. So you just eat this. This is a tilt. And you sometimes just sub. You'll sub right behind the puppet and you will just get caught in this chain over and over again. Like, me watching this dance? I can't. I mean, obviously I could sub, but I'm just making a point about how stupid that damage is. The match ended in like no time at all. Oh man. I've seen some people do this online, and I've seen some people justify it. No. There's no justification for spam like that. That has to go for sure. Ah, the online. The online portion of this game has caused me so much stress. I know it shouldn't exist this game, but some of the things you deal with online is so ridiculous. Like, look at my record. I'm not a noob. I've played this game for a decent amount of time. I got a decent amount of wins and whatnot. I don't disconnect and all that goodness. Why is it that in online you cannot record a replay unless it's a ranked match? Do you have any idea how much I hate ranked matches? The reason I hate ranked is because ranked is only playable in team matches, and team matches are so chaotic in a bad way. If you think like one-on-one spam is bad and like singles, you need to check team right quick, because team is so silly. The amount of spam that goes on in that is so, it drives me bonkers. I just don't like how team was implemented. I think it was implemented very poorly. Well, first of all, I think ranked, if you're going to do ranked, you should be able to choose, okay, ranked, teams, or singles. Like player matches, you're able to choose single or team. But for ranked, it forces you to do teams. I don't like team matches because, like I said, they're so spammy, and people, they don't use their team support with any kind of skill. It's just spam. Like, look at this. Characters are just flying all over the screen when they become available. One reason I really particularly don't like team matches is because as long as the bar is ready, you can use the support, and I think that's ridiculous. If you are getting juggled or just otherwise outplayed, why is it fair that you get a lucky break and your teammate comes in and just saves the day? I've seen this happen a lot. Hell, this used to happen to me back in Storm 2 when I forced myself to play that stupid rank just to get that one achievement. Sometimes I will be doing some nice combos on them, and all of a sudden what happens? I get a Rasengan in the back while I am the one who's juggling them, or otherwise just keeping them in a combo. When you have supports like this, I think it's only fair that you should only be able to use them if you are otherwise free. So in that sense, if you were getting juggled, no, you cannot call any support. If you are on the defensive and you are blocking attacks, you shouldn't be able to either, because you're in a corner. That's not how it works. I don't think it should be like that. Same thing if you're getting hit. If you're getting hit, you're clearly being outplayed, so why should you be able to get a free pass and get saved? In any other game where there's, you can swap in your teammates, you are only allowed to do so if you are free from damage and not getting hit, or if you were the one doing the juggles yourself. Like, I would have no problem with teams if you could use the team, support, strategically, if you were able to use them only while you were free and while you're doing the juggling. That's fair. Another thing I don't like is, why is it that when you're playing teams, it's a mess. Why can't there be more of a strategic element to it? In a sense that, okay, maybe your opponent calls in their support, and if you act quick enough, if you call in your support, maybe it can, sort of cancel each other out in a defensive kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as it is now, it's just spam. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, you call in your support while they call in theirs, and then some chaos will happen on the screen, and it will somehow cancel each other out. Obviously, that's not how it was intended. It's just, as it is now, it's just spammy nonsense. That's why I stay away from teams. I can't tell you how many times that I have gotten, I've seen matches in teams. Now someone is clearly getting juggled or outplayed, and then their teammate just comes in and saves the day while they're getting with their backs to the wall. I don't think that's fair at all. I just don't like how that was implemented. And I really hope that in Storm 3 they at least let you, play rank and, choose either single or team. Now, if you like team matches, hey, that's cool, man. I don't have a problem with you if you like it. I just prefer to play single because I think that team matches, they're just too chaotic and, it interferes with the match in a bad way. But if you like rank, hey, man, it's cool. You do rank. I just wish that we're given the option to choose between team and singles for rank. Now, I know it seems like I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining about this game, but I'm not. Like, honestly, I'm really passionate about this game. I really like it, and I've been playing it more or less since it came out. And I just want the series to be good. Now, I saw the trailers for Storm 3, and visually, I was blown away. Really cool cinematics, the boss fights are back, okay, awesome. But I want to see more gameplay footage. I want to see more in-depth look of the game. I want to see if they actually took into consideration what made Generations kind of messy and improved on that, That's it. I just really want this game to do well. That's all I'm saying, man. That's it. Oh yeah, one last thing that annoys me is how they nerfed Hidan's ultimate in Generations. The clips you're about to see, Storm 2 is the full screen, Generations is the bottom right. I love how they took the time to nerf this one, and not all the other nonsense that still plagues the game. Alright, thanks for watching my video, people. Peace out, everyone.